let the games begin.
OpTic Gaming looking to set their sights on a 1-1. Not looking easy though. Virtus.pro stand in their way. Day 2 here in the Twickenham Stadium, and we are live with the FACEIT Major. My goodness, this is intriguing. We have the Danish roster of OpTic taking on Virtus.pro, a team who have already made an announcement that their roster will be different at the end of the Major. I can't express how confusing this makes our job.
Well,
I say our job quickly. Sponge, Daps, joining me.
I think it makes it more fun, right? You know,
Yeah.
it really just adds a couple of spanners and throws them into the works and makes our life a little bit harder.
Yeah, because how hard can you play? How hard can you perform? How well?
110% every inch. We fight for that inch.
If you are fighting for that inch, hashtag FACEIT Major. Let us know where you're watching, how you're watching, and how your matchmaking games are going. Nice and easy. Hashtag FACEIT Major.
I think
OpTic
needs to win this match, just for the sake of that 5 people staying together. Because I think not only do they need to win this match, it needs to be convincing if they have any hope of going through this stage. Because, like you said, Virtus.pro announced that this isn't even going to be their 5-man lineup. So
right. So like you're going up against a team that have announced that Bialy's leaving the team.
Yeah.
You are a 5-man roster. You are a roster that planned to stay together, at least as far as we know, and therefore you really have to start fragging and you really have to show your worth here.
Well, I think you have to consider as well, this OpTic team had a spot in North American Pro League, which they no longer have, right? They've had to relinquish that, and they don't have a spot in the European Pro League either. So the only thing keeping these guys together would be a good performance here, which would lead to invites to other events or them having to qualify through the online portion. So I agree with Daps in the sense of these guys are not only playing for their tournament life, but the life of this potential team. After this major, I expect there to be lots of shake-ups, not just within the Polish side of things, but for them as well. You know, we know that the firepower within the OpTic roster exists. Cajun B on your screen right here, one of the legends of the game, one of the guys who used to be playing in TSM with Device, with Zipnix, with Dupree. He got cast aside, and now he's found himself in this team. I saw Config on the screen. He's such a fiery character in and outside of the server. Snappy as an in-game leader, has been doing it for years. You've obviously got Yugi on the AWP, who's a beast. This guy with the AWP is very flashy, and there's lots of, and then Gade is kind of the rock, the newest pillar, the newest figure to come into this unit, but yet to really produce any good results.
Well, I feel like they must have had a good result versus 3D Max, because every single one of those clips was versus them on that very map Mirage. Yes, they can be flashy.
The person I really want to point out is Gade. When they first made this lineup, even when they had Stanislaw and Shazam, Gade was very impressive at the very start of the lineup, and he's sort of just kind of fallen into the shadows, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's someone that's, I always find kind of, when you see a new name with a Danish flag next to them, I pay attention. Just because I've learnt from my mistakes before. Config, just to name a few, Snappy, Yugi. We have seen these breakout players who truly have proven their worth, especially with that Danish flag next to their name. We'll see if OpTic can live up to expectations. Of course, brought to you by DreamTeam.gg. Virtus.pro go up against them, and this is a combination of old and new. Polish Counter-Strike has fallen from grace somewhat, and now Virtus.pro look to do whatever they can, whatever's left from Virtus.pro. Legendary names, of course, the likes of Neo, Pasha, and of course Bialy now alongside some fresh blood, Miku and Snatchy, filling in the voids left by Snacks and Co.
The more I read these interviews from VP, that is just the likes of Neo and Pasha saying, you know, this is, you know, everything's in a really bad place, this might be my last major, it takes any form of hope away, and they're really not playing with anything in mind other than we know that we can be good. We've been good in the past. We should just be able to repeat that kind of performance. And they're doing it, I hope, for themselves at this point, because if no point, the fans have already been disappointed enough. You know, these guys have been on a journey, a downward spiral for some time now, and any win, any victory for them will be a huge one.
Yeah, and of course, reminding everyone how they got here just briefly. Virtus.pro actually played their game. Who was it versus? NIP, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, it was NIP, and of course, 65
on Mirage.
I really struggled to get going.
I do have some hope, though, for this lineup. I was actually on the shuttle back from the airport in Shanghai, and Neo was on it, and it seemed, just from talking to him, it seems like it's a team that's trying to make changes finally and trying to move forward from their past selves. So I'm looking forward to them after this major when they announce what their 5-man lineup is, but I think the additions of Snatchy and Mihu is huge.
Yeah, and they are truly their best players, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even in that NIP game, I think Mihu was rocking 20 frags. Like these guys come to play and they're just proud to be wearing the Virtus.pro jersey.
Yeah, they've been, like, I guess, under the thumb of the legendary VP roster within the Polish scene for some time. You saw Ego, which Snatchy was a part of, starting to make, steps forward. Taz, one of the former VP players, now in-game leading, and, the captain of Kingwin, who are also making steps in the right direction. When you think of all those things, the Polish scene is on the up and up, and there are players there. We just need to see if they have a chance to play in Tier 1 Counter-Strike and how they fit in. You want that mix of old and new, and VP are starting to move in that direction.
They absolutely are, and we talk of Mihu, who features in our head-to-head, which is brought to you by The Predator. You can go ahead and see that in cinemas September 14th. It's directed by Shane Black. A little bit of fun trivia for you. And this is some fun trivia for you at home, the Counter-Strike fans. You can see just how deadly close their stats are. In fact, I almost don't believe it.
Well, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
I don't believe
Same
it.
headshot percentage.
Wow, that's pretty nuts. But I think, one of the highlights with Config, Jacob, when he was on the desk earlier, we were talking about players who, when they get off to a really good start, they can continue and roll with it. Config is one of those players. When you see him, grab a couple of kills on the pistol and then he gets a couple of eco kills, he can really dominate and feel the game. I remember watching so many matches of him where he was up to 15 or 17 kills and they were only 8 rounds in, but he almost single-handedly had helped them get those 8 rounds. That's a big win condition for a team like OpTic, but they have more tactical depth now that Snappy is the in-game leader with this firepower.
Yes, and let's jump into that map veto.
So with the map veto, we know OpTic's not going to play Cash, and I can't read it. That's
Overpass gone,
and
nuke gone.
VP's Overpass
I'm
nuke.
getting you all some eyeglasses.
Yeah, I can't read it from over there. With Snatchy, they've only played 4 maps, I believe. So we haven't really seen too much with their current 5-man lineup. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Cash is gone from OpTic right there. I think
Sus2 goes as well.
Maybe a train band
So-
coming out here.
What do we have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Chad.
I think it will probably be Mirage. VP have shown that they're happy to play out. I know they got a shellacking from NIP, but this is where VP get the choice between an Inferno or they get to choose a Mirage. And I think Inferno, they'd just get shut down by the sheer firepower of a team like OpTic, whereas Mirage, they could sneak in, get control of the economy. And I know they only had 5 rounds, but historically, and I should probably stop beating a dead horse at this point, VP were a good Mirage team. Maybe we can see glimpses of that.
I'm kind of surprised VP kind of lets Mirage through after their result versus NIP. But they've only played 4 maps with Snatchy, and 2 of them were on Mirage.
There you go.
They're 0-2 though on it.
They've played 4 games with Snatchy?
Officials.
Officials. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
officials.
imagine they've scrimmed.
One
but
would hope.
Yeah, 4 games. I didn't realize it was that much of a recent addition. I felt like that announcement was a while ago. I guess I'm in a hyperbolic
He played
time
in
chamber.
Zotac with the team,
Right.
but he wasn't with them during IEM Shanghai. They had Morel standing in at that point.
That's where I've got confused. 'Cause
Yeah.
he has been in the roster. They just didn't have him performing in Shanghai. So that's something to bear in mind. They've played 4 games with Snatchy, and 2 of them are on Mirage.
Yeah.
50% of his games.
So they got some
officials,
experience.
are on this map.
We have a little bit more information on OpTic on this map.
Hit me.
Playing together, they've played 16 times, and one of their big win conditions, they've only won 8, they've lost 8, so 50%. But one of their big win conditions is pistol rounds. Out of the 32 pistol rounds, they've won 23, and that's a pretty high stat line considering, right? So when you factor that in, pistols are going to be important for a team like
Hey,
OpTic.
fellas, let's check the screen out. Okay. Jason's done it.
Why has he
Jason,
done that?
I don't know what jersey you want, but I'm sure VP will give you one. He's gone for the VP.
He always asks for a VP jersey for his brother.
He never gets one.
I don't think he ever got one.
No, maybe this is his last attempt.
Do you think it's that ridiculous of a pick? I think it's like 60-40 for
Yeah,
OpTic.
I don't think it's that much of a stretch, but I will just go with OpTic as a safe pick.
Okay, so Daps, you want to put money where your mouth is?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with OpTic as well.
Oh.
I think everyone on OpTic's performing a little bit higher. I can't
Yeah.
say a lot. And obviously, they're a 5-man lineup that's currently staying together, as we know. So
For now.
So I think OpTic's the reasonable choice.
And I'm going to join Jason. I
Yeah,
think VP are
cool.
going to take this one. Just going to, shatter all of our team talk about this one. Thanks, guys, though. Thanks for your insight.
No
I'm still
worries.
going for VP. But 60-40, I like that 40. I fancy my chances. And also, it'd be really nice just to see a little glimpse of bit of old Neo, CB Yali on that CT side doing what he does best. Just been a little turret as a kind of a goodbye tour. And maybe if they tilt config.
It's like Johnny Farnham.
Yeah?
Do you know John Farnham?
No
he's
idea who
Australian.
that
He
is.
just keeps doing tours, whereas the final one, he's done about
Oh,
20
I
of
see.
them.
Okay.
But he keeps going.
Yeah, whatever pays the bills. But either way, it does sound like the game is ready to go. Don't forget to let us know on the hashtag FACEIT Major. And for now, Jason, talk to me. my brethren, VP versus OpTic. I need you to explain to me how and why they're going to take this map.
I don't know. I've voted with my heart, not really my head. I did get those jerseys, Chad. I got 2 of the old school orange and white and black, and they're both signed. One for my brother, one for myself, and yeah, I got my eyes on those beautiful green ones.
Both of them ended up on eBay. Is that what?
They got the classic, the good lineup on it as well, like the real old school, long tenured one. So I'm pretty happy about that. We put a case. Got the Brazilian guys to sign an SK jersey. I got Liquid guys sign one of them. Cloud9.
Yeah, remember to go and visit opcomma.com, and we've got the votes from going on from there as well, which I'm guessing still is going to be OpTic favored, but you never know with the whole. Oh,
it's not that. Yeah, it's not that bad. I think
only a couple.
I think there's going to be a decent amount of people like me voting with their heart though on this one.
Yeah.
Watching Virtus.pro and just looking them how they carry themselves on Twitter and everything like that. I don't think there's a whole lot that you can really think that will make them win. Because they talk on the desk, like they're not playing well, and then just personality and just like, morale, they just seem shattered. They know there's going to be at least one change. We know Bialy's leaving after this major. So there's not even a whole lot to be fighting for necessarily for Virtus.pro. I guess at this point, the only thing you can really go for is, personal pride and obviously money. And obviously if you're planning on staying in this lineup, some kind of way to skip a stage of this major. If this Virtus.pro team has to qualify through the online section,
nobody wants to do
It's just
that.
kind of pointless, isn't it? They're about to get relegated from Mountain Dew League. Like, you don't want to be in the minors online.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a hard life, definitely. Well, we're ready with the game here. Virtus.pro on the T side, OpTic Gaming on the CT side. We're on Mirage, and Config going to be sneaking up. He's got a bigger backup behind him, so could catch Pasha off guard. The rest are coming up through the underpass, so it could also be Config who's going to get caught. It's not quite clear who that's going to end up being. Yugi now in trouble. He goes down, and Config is next to fall, so a great pinch of movement, and the boost from Mihu taking down Snappy. What a beautiful beginning here from Virtus.pro.
Oh my lord, everyone's getting caught out with nothing to do, and yay, no one lands a shot.
Wow.
Flawless victory, and Config has got to be a little bit frustrated. That one kill onto Yugi at underpass, right? And Config turns, and that's exactly when Pasha peaks, and he turns into a free meal.
It's like watching dominoes, wasn't it? Just fall over. Like, you just need that first one.
That is wild. Well, my pick's feeling good. Listen, the plow just started. It's kicked off. We haven't seen it in like 2 years. Let's go.
Does that mean it's just like rusty and it'll...
Yeah, but I mean, there's maybe they've taken some like Brillo pads to it, shake the rust loose, all the platitudes.
Well, we'll find out for sure. I agreed it would be fun. I would like to see Virtus.pro at least.
Just for old time's sake, right?
Just
give us one.
But the thing is as well, Moses, how many times have you had your heart broken by Virtus.pro? How many times when you thought that
same amount of times I've had my heart broken by Config recently?
Yeah.
There he goes through the smoke. 5-on-4. Snatchy, Mihu, and Pasha heading up catwalk. 2 players here. They've got Deagles as well. There's a nice headshot from Snappy. An even better one from Snatchy. And Virtus.pro have traded themselves into the bomb site.
I didn't even think about that. That kind of is a commentator's nightmare, isn't it?
Snappy, and Bialy.
Yeah, it's going to get interesting. Pasha holding the line for a little bit. Just a slight bit of hesitation there, but it works out anyway. They only lose a couple of people there on the VP side, and I think they're going to be just fine with it. Pasha with the triple, and OpTic, of course, still not able to buy. So I'll have to wait a bit longer to see what they can bring us. I really feel like they've been a bit disappointing this tournament, OpTic.
They've only played 1 game, so I mean, how disappointing can they really... What were your expectations? 1-0?
I just no, they were allowed to lose a game, but I just felt like they did nothing that game.
I just like giving you some crap. They didn't do anything that game. We cast that, didn't they? Who were they playing? They got steamrolled, didn't they? That was Liquid. Yeah, they got absolutely annihilated.
It was very weird. So I'm kind of expecting more out of them this time. Otherwise, we'll have to bring the mockery, Moses. Come up with a way to make fun of them.
I think we could probably outsource that to Twitter or Twitch chat.
They are good for that.
Yeah. A lot of ground gain by Virtus.pro. They have complete control of mid, and they're being patient and calculated with it. Content at a minute and just about 16 seconds to sit on catwalk. They've got pretty deep control of those upper B halls. They've got deep control of middle. Pasha with an AK. Peering up connector. That is a pretty deep smoke for top connector. You can peek in front of that. I think he's got to be careful.
Yeah, maybe he wants to peek just to one side or the other. Cage is waiting at the edge. It's a pretty good headshot actually, but the damage is more or less traded. Now Virtus.pro realizing there's nobody in the B bomb site. So, fight for Mihu is all good, but ultimately the bomb is going to be going down, and there's nobody there that can stop it on the other side.
Yeah, Neo and Snatch using those Mac 10s to clear things out, get him into the site.
Now just wait. Exits. The name of the game here for OpTic, if they can. They've done some good damage to Snatchy as well now. So they would love to find one of those kills. Config, look. I mean, you could probably jump and stab someone in the feet there if you were really feeling it. Looked like he partially wanted to, but now he's given up and is just holding the window with a USP. I can't imagine that's going to last very much longer. Somehow that was a headshot. And Virtus.pro still going to win without losing anybody.
Yeah, we're losing 2 players in the first 3 rounds of this map. That's nothing to laugh about. See what this first pistol round, or I mean, excuse me, this first gun round is going to be. Snatchy's going to upgrade to that AWP. It'll be interesting to see Pasha not on that, which is one of those things where it feels like a change-up that, I mean, obviously I understand you're kind of swapping some players out so you don't always get this luxury, but Pasha was no slouch with that op recently. He's been playing very, very well.
Yeah, I agree. Snatchy is also good, so I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe now they have the double up effect, they can maybe do that. Yugi going to be jumping down. That Molotov is very annoying. He could stick around, but that would be a massive risk, and instead, he's lingering around a bit in connector. Maybe he wants to go back in with a flashbang from a teammate here. Straight into it again. Not going to catch anyone. The bomb is over here. That's a big tell for those of us who have a minimap to look at.
Yeah, it's in Palace. I mean, there's no rotating it away from this position, so eventually Virtus.pro is going to fall back after this default just tells them there's no aggression. No utility and no pressure has been applied by anyone from VP on the map as well. Neo now clearing the underpass. I imagine at some point they'll have to do something in middle, whether it's nades, whether it's some kind of presence, whether it's go for a pick. At the moment, if they just fall back towards A, it's really going to be telegraphed with how quiet it's been through this whole game. Gade, we're going to see this a lot out of him. He's playing close up to the A ramp. He's right at the top of it, right to that left corner. And he likes to be aggressive at this A ramp pretty frequently.
Throwing the smoke into middle, and now looks like they're going to regroup, having just Pasha waiting up there at the top of mid. Key position to be in if you're Pasha, if anyone's rotating in or even trying to assist the rest of the push into the A-bomb side a little bit later on. Yugi in position, going to spot out Neo. Doesn't seem like there was a lot of force behind that push, and Snatchy's going down as well, so whatever push was happening, it's not looking all that great any longer. Mihu gets dropped in. Don't exactly know what the plan was, Moses, but I'm not liking it.
No, it was a terrible, terrible plan. Using all your utility elsewhere and just walking up the ramp just dry. That first player, Neo, just essentially accepting his death and saying, well, I'll at least get the Opera in position, but with Gade's close-up spot, it's basically impossible to clear. That can't happen. If you're VP, you cannot just sit around for a minute in the round doing nothing and then expect to get into a bomb site. You have to be a little bit more aggressive. You have to go for some of those picks. And if not, then you're going to have to go for an actual execute onto the bomb site. Use your utility where you're attacking.
Doubles, well, so many smokes into the middle. Or some flashbangs as well, I suppose, but still, smoking both window and close. Virtus.pro going to be rushing through screen to get into connector. The boost is happening on the other side. That would be incredible if they could get this on time, and no chance for Pasha to see that coming. That's a great refrag from Cajun, and great timing and OpTic to make that happen.
Still a chance with Neo and Mihu in mid, but they're going to fall away from it. Again, Gade in this position. We've seen this a number of times in this event already. The shadow gives away the game for the Terra side. Bialy's got to be careful how he attacks it, but actually Neo and Mihu are going to go to the other side of the map, so Bialy's going to be all alone. Snappy is here, so is Cajun B. Doubled up at this B bomb site.
Deep grenade, but not going to touch anyone. Instead, they walk back through underpass, and I feel like Virtus.pro are improvising some of this as they go. Seems very weird for them to be walking through back from middle and then back here again. Not catching anyone. They probably wish that OpTic would be a bit aggressive in window or just anything right now to give them that kill to return, but doesn't really seem to be happening now. 35 seconds and engagement over at the ramp starting to happen as well. Gade's been waiting that whole time and he's going to win the fight against Bialy, so no trouble there. And Mihu sneaking in. And, oh, Config actually pretty quick to back up in that position, and Neo now going to be in a 1 versus 3. He's got the bomb at least, and maybe go for a quick bomb blind if he's really fast about it, but holding on in this position is going to be absolutely impossible, and already getting shot in the back by Snappy. That will be another round for OpTic here. And Virtus.pro, again, just not looking perfect at the moment.
That's the nicest way you could have put it, isn't it?
I know, I'm just that nice of a guy, Moses.
No, you're not. Yeah, I mean, 2 questionable gun rounds out of VP. The plant is at least a luxury that will allow them to invest a small amount in this upcoming one if they want to. Not a whole lot, maybe some upgraded pistols, light armor, or utility, one or the other. But yeah, they really haven't done a whole lot in these gun rounds, have they?
No, it's the sort of weird lack of a plan. I'd be fine if they picked a strategy and stuck to it and did it,
Yeah, it's such a. I think the sad thing about it is it's such a disconnect from the old Virtus.pro that we used to know, where at least if there was no plan, they were bashing their head against the wall, weren't they? There was just like, you were at least being the aggressors. This time it's just falling a little bit flat. Let's see what they've got here.
Yeah, maybe it could change. We're still pretty early on. Of course, winning the pistol round, that should be the thing that should give you that energy to really...
To say at least a little bit of life early on in the gun rounds.
Yeah, make it feel like you've really got it. It feels a bit stale at the moment. Setting up for smoke in this position. We've seen this smoke thrown from so many different positions, so I wonder if it's going to land in a place that we can recognize. Yeah, it's going to be the catwalk. Normally there'd be another one next to it, the other arch, and actually there will be one. But all a bit of a fake, and that has been called immediately by Gade.
Flashbang came out late. I'm not sure if it was Virtus.pro's or OpTic's, but it did blind those players in Palace. Yugi is getting a couple of the easiest shots of his life. Pasha's got to be aggressive, but no armor, and he's shut down quick. 1 player falls. It's 3-2-3. All right, VP. Do this round for me. What have you got?
Yeah, Moses, you think they can feel that energy being sent their way?
Yeah, I think we've got some kind of a connection that allows us to communicate through the walls and floors. I think this is going to be they're going to win this round, Anders.
Yeah?
Yeah.
100%. Put a pie on it?
I'm not going to put a pie on it.
All right.
It's not a perfect science, this magic that we have together.
I'll accept it. We'll see how it works out for Virtus.pro. They've got, again, some of the smokes going into top mid, but they are not currently contesting it. They're just sort of holding it, making sure that no one's pushing it from the OpTic side. And then they're going to go in for what looks like pretty much a default, what they were doing the last round. But last round it was so slow and hesitant, and there was really not much emphasis on getting onto the bomb site. See if they could do different.
Yeah, there's a window of opportunity here while Config clears out middle. He was peeking around those smokes. Cajun and Snappy are also concentrated there as well. Gade is pretty much alone, and if this is a full execute, he's going to get blocked off. Here we go. Config and Gade, what do? They step in front of the smokes. Nade's going to come out. That's not going to do great damage. Actually, it's pretty decent, all things considered. Molotov is misplaced by VP, and they're going to be slowed down by the flames themselves. But they will get into the bomb site.
Damage onto Config. And now the bomb being planted. You can see Config wants to stop it. Oh my god, he's going to be able to in the last possible second. That's very unfortunate for Snatchy. This time wasn't really his fault, just the smoke fading at the wrong time. Cajun going to be taking down Neo. And now Pasha's actually come back from middle, so not going to be able to apply any pressure there. Gade getting a kill. And now Virtus.pro, they just give it up.
Yeah, that was, I mean, good job getting into the bomb site. They do everything right except covering the planter, the one location that he can really get punished from. And they use everything on the execute. So once that bomb is on the ground, there's no real chance. You just have no more nades to use, and they've got to save this round out. So uninspiring gun rounds from VP here on Mirage. And they're going to go down 3-4.
Yeah, the beginning of it was looking fine this time. I mean, that wasn't really the problem. I mean, I don't know. That smoke fading at the wrong time is kind of unfortunate, but the follow-up, I kind of almost feel like just fight for it, and it feels like I'm not sure why Pasha was coming all the way back through T-spawn.
I think it's a little bit of lack of confidence, maybe just getting ahead of themselves and saying the bomb's going to go down no matter what. Either way, though, I think the real tough part is if you're Virtus.pro, I mean, obviously they're taking a tactical timeout right now to talk things over. But during this tactical timeout, what do you know? What have you found out across the map for the early stages of these rounds? You spent the first 2 gun rounds doing nothing until about 45 seconds left before you started attacking, so you don't know what the early setups are going to be like. You've tried use all your smokes in middle and attack catwalk, and there's a lot of attention there. You've seen the boost on catwalk. You've seen config playing connector, and then you've just tried to straight up execute and saw them playing retake at A. So you don't really have a whole lot of information what to go off. That's kind of the dangerous part of having such a passive start to this game.
Yeah.
Is what information do you have that's going to let you exploit something?
That round where they smoked off towards connector, they actually, I mean, it looked like they tried to do that to bait someone to peek connector, and like they smoked off towards catwalk, sorry, but maybe they could actually rush that catwalk position. That may be interesting.
I guess that's the one thing, is that when they did the smokes in middle, they got pretty far up catwalk. Maybe that's why they're going back to this. They're saying last time we were here for free, there were 2 players that came over. Snappy's going to block off that push, and actually one's going to come through it. Snatchy getting over-aggressive. Cajun lets his teammate die, but he misses the kill on Neo as well.
Yeah, so that if he lets that happen, he pretty much has to follow it up, and he's not going to be able to do it. There's going to be a conversation about that later on. I can guarantee you, Bialy does go down to the end of Yugi, having a good follow-up, but
that did look a little bit funny. It's like, yeah, I killed my teammate. I need, I'll boost my kills. Cajun's the B player. You feel lonely out there.
We've all been in a matchmaking game with that one person, Moses. And when eventually, if 10 rounds into the game and you've got really tired of it, you say, listen, you've got to stop baiting me for kills. And he pulls up the scoreboard and he says, I've got more kills than you. Why are you complaining? So you just can't win.
I guess nobody's ever told you this, Sanders, but that you're that guy. Except you don't have more kills than anyone else. You're just baiting.
Well,
I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Seem to remember winning a show match against you, Moses.
I seem to remember winning like 3 against you.
Oh, you wanted to get back out, but Mihu will take him down. So a quick 1-for-1 trade. And Snappy here, very dangerous position behind the bench. He's going to get shut down. Good kill from Bialy. Looking a lot better this round. Grenade going to touch him, but doesn't really matter. 4-on-3. It's very hard to retake this B bomb side, and Mihu doing a great job of defending. This is what I want to see out of VP. A little bit more speed and just a more commitment to the overall idea, and it's looking much better now.
Yeah, way more aggression, just way more assertive. Contact play at the B bomb site, trading off that AWPer Cajun, and Neo's going to walk right into him. So Cajun's going to be able to survive and live, but yeah, nice round from VP. Pasha's got the A to VP. I imagine he passes that over to Snappy. Or Snatchy, excuse me. There we go.
You've messed it up, haven't you?
I've done it, yeah. Unless he loses it. Oh, you're done for. And you've given it up right back. Bit of a blunder from Pasha at the end, but they've got their 4th round. And here's the thing. We obviously don't like the way that all these rounds have played out for VP on this T side. They've looked a little sketchy at times. But when you win the pistol round, you get up to 3. You're already at 4. Just win 2 more, and you've got a solid shot for the second half.
That is the kind of buffer that you get in the beginning if you win that pistol. You're right. So
and the ensuing too, yeah.
They just decided to relax so much after doing that they just maybe took it a step too far, right?
Yep.
Got to get off the couch and get this done, because 4-5 is, you're right, it's not a bad scoreline. They've done a decent job so far.
What's really scary is the double up setup. If VP continue with that slow, passive style, they're going to get chewed up alive. And they need to be very careful how they approach these situations, and they're obviously not aware that the double op has come out quite yet.
Setting up for a couple of smokes, pretending to have some sort of A execute here, but the bomb is really far away. And I don't see them trying to take the bomb through the middle without having any control, or at least that would be very scary. So more likely, some sort of different setup coming out here from the VP side. There are the smokes and the grenades to follow up. Actually, that Molotov failed a bit, which is a bit unfortunate. That may be just going to cause OpTic to wait a bit. Pasha walking into the shot. Snatchy continuing. The bomb is still back there. It's now being picked up in T-spawn, and they're starting to make their way towards the B bomb site. I am, once again, unsure.
No, this is just it's all very weird at the moment from VP. That's a fine kill from Bialy, but he can't do much more. 12 HP, Config gonna have an easy one. This is just a very weird T side that VP is coming out with at the moment, because it's like they're using their utility away from where they want to attack in the hopes of like causing a fake or causing a rotation, but that doesn't happen at this level if you're not going to force it with a frag here and there, right? Like,
I mean, even if they had caused a big rotation to A, it took them like another 4 hours to get to the B bomb site. So, so by that time, probably someone has put, you know, the pieces together and figured out what's going on.
yeah, especially when you just walk out top mid and do an op crosshair.
I would have been fine with 2 people outside of A throwing everything into the A bomb site and attacking it, and the other 3 being in the B hallways. And then you just pray that whoever is in B is momentarily distracted. That would have been great. But they were in T spawn with the bomb, more or less.
It is a bit curious.
Demand answers, Moses. I want to know why this is happening.
Don't have them for you. So, VP off the back of a pretty solid win a couple rounds ago. They have a decent amount of cash. Again, Yugi is going to have another free kill. He's going to go for more. Ooh, that's a weirdly missed shot. Looked like it should have landed. They're going to pressure him, but they're not even aware Config is in here. He's the bodyguard for Yugi, and no one's going to pass except for me. 7-4 now for OpTic, having a solid stand on the defense.
Now it's getting really troublesome, because that's the economic reset that they can buy this round, but it's not really a great buy coming out of the VP side, and they're going to be lacking. I mean, if they can't convert this round into a win, they're going to be so low on money. Just the indecision. We obviously know about some of the team troubles that are going on and the signaled change and all the rest of it, but
I guess that's going to be the overshadowing story, and I guess that's the best reason you can really lend to why they look a little discombobulated is obviously, I mean, just bleeding away some kind of morale issue. Nice kill from Snatchy, but I mean, still a relatively new team with Snatchy. A little bit less with Mihu, but you know, the knowledge that Bialy is leaving after this. I think they even gave an interview. Was it Neo who talked about, you know, why would we practice with this lineup so intensely if we know it's going to change in just a couple weeks? There's the shadow giveaway. Gade loving that life.
Ooh, this is such a good angle for the T side, yeah. Very, very good stuff. It's always dangerous to take that fight. I feel like the T's come out on top almost all of the time when that happens. So 4-on-3 and Snappy holding that connector, walking right in front. That's a good flick, taking down Snatchy, and now turning around. He's ready for more, but he oversteps the line. Probably could have played that one a bit more safely. Now it's a 2-on-3, and Virtus.pro looking a lot better, but that headshot from Gade, a little bit surprising as he was jumping up into the window. It's a 2-on-2. Yugi with the AWP wins the fight against Bialy, and they needed that bomb plant quick. Now all the pressure is on Pasha. 1 versus 2. Walking out, he's going to get spotted, and he almost returned that kill on Yugi as well, but not going to be in time. Another round for OpTic, but barely.
That time Virtus.pro actually gets into the bomb site, and it helped that they got kills on the other side of the map, kind of thin out the defense and put them in weird positions to be able to get picked off and enteried upon. Seemed like they had everything going for him, and Gade comes in to stop that plant. That 1 kill he gets.
Listen, I'll even accept the premise that you don't want to practice with a team that you know that's about to change.
Okay.
I'll just grant them all of that. I just still think it's possible. There is like a fundamental kind of Counter-Strike that you can play with almost anybody, right? Even if you don't know them all that well.
Yeah.
Especially on the T side. I mean, you can do that in FACEIT Pugs if you wanted to, Moses.
Okay.
And
You're not seeing it here?
And I'm just not seeing it here. Just, you know.
I mean, they're none of them are even talking. It's kind of frightening for their own timeout. Free time comes to an end. Yeah, I'd rather just see them like get blown out or lose being aggressive.
Yeah, that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if you're going to come into this, you might as well have a little bit of fun with it and, you know, do something that's going to be enjoyable Counter-Strike. You don't want to sit around playing defaults and just be bored for 45 seconds if you're not prepared for it, you know? Yeah.
Yell Kurva really loudly and then
Hopefully that's what they said during the timeout. Maybe FACEIT will let us go down during the timeout and have a quick chat.
I would send you, Moses, as the emissary. Maybe bring some of those soft cookies you've been touching.
Listen, you know, there's only one. We've all been in that situation where you look at the cookies and you say, I wonder if that's, you know, one of the soft cookies or one of like the crispy, not so soft cookies. I've seen you do it.
You're on your own with this one, Moses. The more you explain it, the worse it gets.
Perhaps.
The infamous cookie fondler. Just can't believe what I'm hearing. I apologize to all the viewers at home that you had to go through this, but it's a developing story. Oh, he's just checked it. Oh, Conflict's gonna be no, no. Why? It was the ultimate magic trick. He literally just checked the corner.
He could have used the knife, and it would have been more reliable in that situation.
Yes. My God. Well, I don't know what to say. 9-4, and we're going to go into almost the last round of the half. Not quite.
Yeah, and so much money for OpTic. They don't have to worry about their bank pretty much for the rest of this. Yeah, for the last 2 rounds. Virtus.pro, last couple attempts to get on the board and give yourself a little bit more breathing room. They win the pistol in the 2 ensuing rounds, and once the rifles have come out, they've only won 1. 9-1 run for OpTic at the moment.
Virtus.pro with a top mid control, the standard Molotov to clear out connector and stop anyone from peeking it. And that is all part of the course. Now, they've done this so many rounds where they're expecting OpTic to push top mid. And I don't mind doing that. You can play this one defensively and make sure that you don't get caught off guard. But then once this part is over, then it's like there's nothing left. Virtus.pro is like, oh, well, they don't peek, then we're not doing anything. There has to be a follow-up to this kind of thing. 3 smokes left. They can do plenty right now.
Tough part is it's just been OpTic's able to get in every situation and every setup they want. They just get to be so comfortable, and no one from VP has any idea what kind of a defense they're going up against. They haven't been aggressive. Dade and Yugi now a crossfire on that A ramp. Bialy again going to be tough to get by Yugi as that shadow one more time. It does show, and with an op it makes things very, very easy. Bialy not encroaching. He was eliminated by Gade in this similar position, so he probably realizes that it's not an advantaged fight. So here comes a split. They need a smoke for Catwalk. Mihu's gonna...
It's so hard as well when this team comes out of connector, when they have to cross into the bomb site, if they don't have the ramp taken care of. Then suddenly they have to look at too many places at once. Yugi ready and waiting, Bialy on the other side, but Config standing his ground. Neo gonna take him down for the high ground and coming with a kill. Very important shot from Gade. That makes all the difference in the world. Virtus.pro, 16 seconds left on the clock there as the last person goes down. Again, very short time. No mistakes can really be made. 10-4 in favor of OpTic Gaming.
It's looking like it's going to be 11-4. Not a whole lot of happiness for VP in this half so far. Nice job from Yugi jumping up, getting the return kill, and finding Pasha as well before eventually going down. But just OpTic at this point just realizes, you know, when this hit comes in at that time, when it's just quiet for a minute, you know, they know exactly where the attack is going to come in. And VP just doesn't have the utility to play something that slow this round. They've got 2 smokes, and now Mihu's going to just get up and go challenge. And he almost wins that fight straight up. Gade's going to have to fall away. Mihu doesn't have the HP to stick around, and he's burning a little bit. But you like the idea. Look what they've done to Gade.
Make it happen.
Yeah, maybe a different round. Maybe they do that a couple times. Gade falls there, and they have an opening.
Maybe what they're doing, Virtus.pro, is that they're setting the stage for a great contrast between this Virtus.pro and whatever the next one is coming.
Okay.
So we're all impressed. Yes, look at how much better they look now.
Set the bar low and you'll never be disappointed type thing.
Yeah, that is sage advice.
Well, 3 players in Palace. You've got Gade underneath balcony. You've got Config at stairs and Yugi in spawn. This is not looking ideal. Neo's got 1 smoke. Pasha's got the other in mid. Yugi is not going to have anything in front of him.
No, he won't. And again, 1 good grenade there, and they could get rid of Gade already if they had the Molotov or something like that. But he's going to have 1 chance to maybe cover that smoke. Hiding inside a couple there is Config. Quick trade, but Gade, oh my god, he's got so little health, but he's hitting every single headshot. Taking down Snatchy, Bialy, and Neo, and I don't even know how he did that. That happened so incredibly quickly, and Mihu now last to go down, 11-4 in favor of OpTic Gaming at the end of the half. This is... yeah, it's making me sad, Moses.
It is making me sad.
Wow.
Alright.
It's well done.
Yeah, that is really well done. Nice turnover towards balcony. He's got the smoke to cover him, Cajun as well. Dominant half from OpTic Gaming, but I think the big story is I think we're just witnessing the final death rattle.
Yeah, they tried to turn the ignition on that plow that's been inside, several winters now.
Polish winters as well.
And it just, instead of going anywhere, it just caught fire, and now it's done. So
why did it catch fire?
I don't know. I don't know anything about cars or anything. I'm just saying.
Thought maybe you were gonna go with like the whole like the one wheel fell off. The actual plow itself is chipped and doesn't actually plow anything.
No, it's not good, is it?
No, it's not pretty. Maybe except for pistol rounds, 100% success rate on pistol rounds. They've got a nice crossfire set up here on Catwalk, and yeah, that's great. There we go.
All right, making that one work. Snatchy to take the kill on Cajun, and you're right, they did have a big mid presence in OpTic. They really didn't stop to find out what was going on at any point. They just kept fighting until the end.
I mean, you have such an easy first half if you're OpTic. You're probably thinking, you probably feel so comfortable that you can just kind of rush and end things. So, I don't know. Call me crazy. I've got a little bit of hope left, Anders.
It's doable. I mean, the power of winning both pistol rounds, if they can do a little bit more here, they could be like at 11-7. It's absolutely doable. I mean, I'm not trying to count them out. I'm just saying that it was an incredibly uninspired first half. Doesn't mean the second half have to be, so I'm absolutely ready to be surprised. I actually want that. I don't want any more sadness.
Make the sadness go away. Please, Virtus.pro. You're the only one that can help us. Yugi, top mid with the Deagles. Oh, they're going to crunch this. There's the peek from the SMG, and I think actually that kind of information, they've all backed away. There's the peek from Catwalk. Great shot onto Yugi. Pasha with the scout is going to grab one as well. Not really a whole lot of damage taken, and there's over the smoke. So looking good for VP in the second round. These Deagles, I'm not even sure I've heard a shot be fired yet.
No, OpTic really, I mean, I don't think they even saw any of the people that shot at them. Maybe Pasha taking a little bit of damage, but it's been pretty clean. Oh, just like that headshot from Cajun. Taking out Pasha, that looked very good. Doesn't want to follow it up. They still got 50 seconds to shuffle about and look for more entries with the Deagles.
All right, well, this is going to be kind of scary because the other part, not just the T side, but what happens a lot if a team is disorganized and obviously morale is low. In these kinds of situations, you can't find a way to work together. Communication's not on point. And that will allow Cajun to do so much. And you see there, the one kill, he follows it up. He knows exactly where Neo's going to peek next. Now he just holds it. Allows Snappy to cross and do something. Unfortunately, Snappy can't get anything done. Cajun can just do a bit more damage, but Neo is eventually going to find it. So, 6-11.
Yeah, good recovery. Losing a couple to the Deagle, but they'll be all right with that. And it will be another save round here for the OpTic side. So 11-6. And like I said, I mean, absolutely doable. They can definitely bring this one back. But I think your point is still valid that if you have communication issues, usually that's a bigger problem on the CT side. Like it tends to hurt even more. People make
Few more mistakes,
yeah, they make a couple more mistakes, and like either they don't make enough calls, or the calls don't have the right amount of information.
I mean,
and it's just bad.
The problem is if you can't communicate, you can't get together with the teammates to protect something. On the other hand, with the T side, it's super easy. Even if you're having communication issues, like it's sometimes a smart play is just to work together. It's very easy to attack a location while the defense gets spread out. Pasha with that scout again. I don't think he'll have an AWP in the next round, which is kind of scary. And VP is going to have to defend this A bomb site. Cajun and Gade in the palace. Yugi's joining up with them with the bomb, so they're just going to try and kind of waterfall out. That'll be on Snatchy, I would imagine. Snatchy and Pasha. But Pasha's only got the scout, so a lot of it will be on Snatchy.
Yeah, still no body armor here, so the scout could do a fair bit if they line up for a beautiful shot. Oh, getting a chance now. Pistol as well. It's a good job on Pasha. Going down doesn't really matter all that much at the end. So 7-11 Virtus.pro climbing a little bit back in, heavily assisted by the fact that, I mean, 6 out of the 7 rounds that they have right now are as a result of winning the pistol rounds.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean it has to continue, Moses. It can change. It
can all change. We'll see. Pasha's got the AWP in his hands. I'm wondering... Is that a second AWP on the ground? It is indeed. Okay.
Nice.
So,
this could be really interesting. That's what we talked about at the beginning of the first half. Pasha and Snatchy, if they can get the double up and running, who knows if OpTic have what it takes to really stop it. Some of that fire is still burning in spite of the smoke being used for Snatchy. That's a bit annoying, but he's going to stay back just a while and see if he can catch anyone. Makes it back around the smoke. That's incredible timing. Snappy right on his heels. They almost had him timed there. That would have been a horrible way to begin. And Config, as the smoke is just clearing, gonna get the kill on Snatchy. He's not gonna be happy about that at all. Now Neo is entirely alone. Mihu is now starting to rotate in, but I'm not sure there's gonna be any time. Neo might be in a lot of trouble if they keep pushing here on the OpTic Gaming side, which they definitely should be. Config checking the angle. He's gonna win that fight again, and Virtus.pro.
I mean, Neo had to have watched that whole sequence with Snatchy, and he's just like, what are you doing? He's got to be so confused. Snatchy just barely gets away, playing in jungle, and decides to rotate, try to rotate towards A, and realizes he has the smoke timing mixed up and wrong. So it just fades, and he just ends up looking silly. At that point, there's nothing really Neo can do, is there?
No.
Like they can be up ramp, they can be out palace on top of balcony, and he knows they're nading him. And they can be up connector, so I mean he's done 3 different ways, and I guess the only thing you can criticize him for is not peeking and taking a fight sooner. But yeah, that's.
I mean, he was waiting for Mihu to get into CT spawn, right?
Yeah.
So he probably wanted
maybe to
at
throw
least,
a flashbang, but
yeah, at least that distraction.
Something. I mean, you even saw as well, OpTic, whoever came out palace had the angle towards CT spawn, so Mihu was never going to be able to help Neo without some kind of an intense fight. An easy round with this kill. Yeah, just caught right out in the open. A gift.
Looking good once again for OpTic Gaming. The double AWP not doing anything like we were hoping. So far, 5-round lead now for the Danish side. We'll see if Virtus.pro can make a change in this one. So far, they have looked very uninspired.
Here we go. Mihu pushing mid, underhand pop flash, no follow-up, and he gets dropped by Gade. The follow-up is just, I think, a second late. That's a good nade and follow-up, but he much would have rather had Mihu able to pull something out. Neo gets some damage in return. And Virtus.pro now has to play this 4-on-5 and try and figure things out. They still have the double op setup, so they can find the equalizer pretty easily.
Again, it was Mihu taking charge of running that, just like he did when he tried to rush that A-bomb side on the T side.
Yeah.
So it feels like maybe he's one of the people left here who's sort of realizing that they need to flex a little bit more. So OpTic are starting to get a bit too much control in this game. 4 versus 5. And a bit of a mid-crunch going on, coming up from underpass as well. It's very common on this particular map. Want that mid-control, and if you can catch someone off guard, that's going to be beautiful. There's Config taking down Neo. Pasha playing close range and just misses the opportunity. Piali going to get 1 kill here. The smoke is up in front though. Could have been a second earlier maybe, but still they're going to make the cross happen and can't really retake this 2-on-4. Better to run. Round number 13 now for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, OpTic's just going to run away with this one, I think. Only 1 gun round won by Virtus.pro in this map so far. The other 6 are all off winning the pistol in the ensuing rounds. Hasn't looked good, and for OpTic, I think they're going to be they're going to take this. More than happy, obviously, to go 1-on-1. I mean, technically, it's not over yet, but it feels over.
It really does.
And I think Virtus.pro is playing like it's over.
They are. I don't know. I feel like I want to avoid the social media criticism of people saying, why are you guys being so down on Virtus.pro? Everyone can have a bad day and all the rest of it. This, to me, watching this, it really hurts. Like, I'm really not enjoying this in any way whatsoever.
No, this actually makes me really uncomfortable watching all this, just because it's so different. So, yeah.
We all have all of the fond memories. We just want them back, Moses.
I know, the worst part is watching this is actually going to start overshadowing some of this. I just want to have the memories. I just want to have the nostalgia.
Maybe we could queue up like a 2014 demo or something. Maybe we could get that.
Maybe we get FACEIT when this match is done with the VOD. We have them upload one of those maps and just call it, FACEIT London 2018, but it's actually them winning 3 years ago.
Good idea. So a bit of revisionist history going on. It's a good idea.
I like it.
So now a 6-round lead. Virtus.pro very limited in the utility here, and obviously if they get broken now, I don't think there's any way back. This is pretty much the last chance they have to make a big stand. They do have the advanced setup over here by the ramp. It's a good idea, and we saw it work for OpTic, so no reason why Virtus.pro wouldn't try and copy it. Not quite the same setup, and if they get the timing right, they can catch them in a perfect position. See how this works.
I think the change, and the little changes are going to make all the difference. Pasha's here now. He sees the shadows down to 7 HP. Snappy falls as well. Neo still waiting inside. This is looking good, but he's got a nade in his hand. That's the wrong time for that, and Pasha's now got to fight with 19 HP. He's got Snatchy to cover over the smoke, and still Config doesn't look to his left. The hold is going to work.
Great job. Really, really smart play. A bit unfortunate with Neo getting caught with the grenade, but otherwise it worked just fine, and Snatchy there to cover them from the back. So you could tell how much confusion is happening on the OpTic side when their focus is on executing into the bomb site, and suddenly the fight is happening very close to home, and they just don't really enjoy it all that much. So a good job. 13 to 8. Now we need it to continue. They need to keep doing stuff like this.
Build upon that.
Yeah.
The good thing is Bialy, Neo, and Snatchy all with around 2,000 or a little bit more than 2,000 can absorb some losses. Not of rounds, but of a couple players here and there. You just need to continue winning. A reset here would still just be so tough to deal with. And unfortunately, they have the wrong read of the situation. Snatchy rotating over towards the B bomb site. Pasha coming around through CT spawn, but it's going to be a split on A. OpTic hasn't given the go signal just yet, but they're all in perfect position. Snappy going to toss a smoke on Catwalk, and that'll be when he goes.
Pasha up here. He needs to land that first shot. Very bold call from Virtus.pro, but I don't think they're going to be rewarded for it unless they can get these entries. And it's one good flick from Pasha there, taking out Config. The smokes are going to be up and the flashbangs as well, and he's trying to stay hidden back here. Reinforcements are being called for, but look at that Molotov, making it very hard for anyone to really help out. Snatchy now all stepping on top of it and actually taking a fair bit of damage. And more are going to be coming in, raining into the corner. Pasha, oh no, it spreads, and he's going to die, and more barbecue happening over there. Pasha and Snatchy both.
Miscommunication on the rotation. You needed more players coming through the murder hole. You needed them clearing that out, getting towards jungle, creating a second front for that fight. And unfortunately, yeah, way too exposed for the barbecue as the second Molotov comes in. No one had smokes to put it out.
Now, I'm going to say the call that they made to push 3 and B and 2 and A is actually, I can be fine with that. I'm not really opposed to them trying to guess, because there's been a bunch of rounds, right, for OpTic at A-bomb side.
Yep.
So if you make that call and it works, then you feel like a genius. So I can excuse that part from Virtus.pro. That's fine. It's unfortunate for them that it doesn't work out, but why not try something like that?
Yeah. Fair play.
It's still going to end up 14 to 8 though, and the money is so broken. I mean, if they had any hope of trying to bring this game back, at least it would seem more possible with the double up and everything else, right?
Right, and I think now they're in that weird spot where you can force up here. It won't be great, but you can do it. And I think they're making the decision to actually play for overtime.
Yeah.
So Bialy with the AK-47 smoke-grenade pistol, some utility. And we've got to see what Bialy can provide them with the AK-47, and it's almost like he's got to be aggressive. Now, thankfully, OpTic's going right at him, so we'll have a chance.
Just now walking out onto the catwalk, and Config is just going to be clearing out this bomb site, and when they try and turn around, then they're just going to get shut down. So, again, unfortunate timing for the call here on the VP side. It's pretty much going to put them out of the action.
Yep, that's just straight out of spawn. Just a missed call. So VP's going to lose this one. And Bialy's just got to back away. Bialy actually, I mean, I know it's a dire situation, and there's probably not a whole lot of positive vibes on that in the comms right now, but if Bialy saves this AK, drop it over to Mihu. He's only got 1,500. You're going to want him to have that weapon. Or for someone else. Pasha here with the CZ. Does find that kill on a Snappy. And 4 players to survive for VP. 2 AK-47s, but they got to win 7 in a row.
Yeah, and a very difficult task considering that, again, 6 out of 8 rounds have been from the pistol round. The other 2 have been sort of 2 rifle rounds that they picked up.
It's got to be all rifle rounds from here on out, baby.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
Think they're winning this round, Anders?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel like this is making me moderately depressed.
Moderately depressed.
Yeah.
It is. It does kind of give you just like a stomach ache, doesn't it?
I mean, if anything, it proves that making changes to this team is what is needed, right? Like, we're not going to have any kind of doubt looking back and saying, oh, maybe they should have kept working at it. Like, it definitely feels like it's dead. So,
Yeah.
in that sense, just look to the future, right?
That's the point of Mihu and Snatchy on this team. The question is, you have to get the players surrounding them to make this happen. Find out after the major, but for now, Virtus.pro, one last stand. There you go, Neo. Right through the smoke, find you one. That's config down. And he's been the most confident and aggressive player on OpTic, so he's been walking into place without any utility. Gade's going to be close up. Pasha knows he's right under window. He sees the trajectory of that smoke. He's pulled away farther from the A-bomb site. Neo and Snatchy playing a retake, but at least it's an op.
Yeah, no grenades right now. He sees that. Peek right in front. That could have been incredibly dangerous. But they turn the corner at least. See if they can do a little bit more. Molotov there to buy more time in the window. Yugi still has a grenade that they can try and smoke off somewhere with. But now Cajun is gone as well. Defense looking good right now for the VP side. 2 on 5 and Gade now stuck in connector. Maybe could find a couple of exit kills, but absolutely no way out. And it's going to be 15-9. So Virtus.pro climbing just a slight bit closer here.
Taking that first step, haven't they? Backed into a corner. Now you're starting to see him get a little bit aggressive. Neo going for the peek. Pasha as well in the open, ready to take a duel. And Neo again coming back over to the A-bomb side and actually taking fights, which is good to see from the Virtus.pro side. 6 more in a row.
I'd be very impressed if they could manage that. OpTic Gaming have still picked up some rifles. They're very limited on grenades. I mean, this is what, 2 smokes and a couple of Molotovs, but they can't wait around for very long. This could be a slightly faster round just as a result of the grenade situation going on there for the Danes. Good flashbang to set that one up, and Neo couldn't escape. Snappy will take him down. Don't need many grenades if they're just positioned perfectly. Pasha now going to be smoked off. Wants to move to the other side, but this is definitely dangerous. Jumping into the corner, and got a bit of a position here, and nice aggressive move from Mihu, but he can't get out in time. Snappy all over the place.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter as well. There's so much attention on this mid connector. It's pulled Bialy out of the way, especially now Snappy gets one more kill. It's going to be a hit towards the B bomb site, and it's going to be a free site. 2 on 4. I think this is going to be Virtus.pro going 0-2, although Bialy had a chance for a moment there. Gade was not looking towards Catwalk. Bomb being planted now. Both positions are known.
Snatchy just rolling into the bomb site. Bialy hitting headshots left and right, and Snatchy taking down Yugi. A 2 on 4 turned into a 1 on 2 in a matter of, what, 5 seconds?
Jesus.
What just happened? This is so ridiculous. I mean...
That's what Bialy's known for, though, isn't he? Those very quick, swift, mechanical headshots.
Yeah. Well, we could... I'm glad, though. We can dish out a little bit of criticism towards OpTic Gaming. Absolutely no reason why they had to try and fight Bialy there. Maybe they were also slightly thinking, yeah, it's fine, 2 on 4, we've got this. High fives all around. Oh.
I think they probably have like the same feeling that we do, that this is like, this Virtus.pro is just like, they're just going to roll over as soon as you apply pressure. And a 4 on 2, certainly they're just like, well, that's it. We've got the win, and a little bit lazy, a little bit lack of focus in getting back into the position.
Now they've wrecked their economy. Yeah,
the crazy thing is, though, Anders, despite that, the tone that we've kind of given this from Virtus.pro is, it's 15-10. It's not like over, you know? Like, they're actually reasonably within striking distance, especially as you said. I think OpTic has that. They're going to half buy here, but the money is not great. So Virtus.pro has a chance to kind of strike back and find overtime somehow.
I would really love to ask OpTic about that round. That was round number 25. It'd be interesting to know if they just were sort of slightly sleeping at the
wheel,
bench, and just thinking, well, it's fine.
I mean, they're lucky. Gade wasn't even looking towards Catwalk whatsoever when he entered the bomb site. Yeah, like if he had just been peeking, obviously couldn't have known that. Would have just had a free kill.
Let's see what this does to OpTic Gaming now. It could be really interesting. Running out of money like this towards the end of the map, it definitely could be very frustrating.
We talk about those hero rounds that breathe some life into the team. A 2 on 4 is certainly going to do that.
It absolutely should. Bit of a missed opportunity from Snatchy, and does give up the AWP. They've picked it up in the connector, and 4 on 5. 3 men have rotated towards the A-bomb site, leaving Bialy alone on the other side. Might get an opportunity to get a good kill in, though. Again, they've got really almost nothing here on the T side, so should be possible. Asher getting the 1 kill, smoke there behind him, and Mihu gonna Not an easy kill. Yugi almost looked like he was sacrificing himself to Bialy there. 11 to 15, and moving a bit closer. Should be a buy round coming out of OpTic though, given the half buy here, so they'll have a chance at it again. But it's getting dangerously close right now.
It really is. It's no longer fun and games for OpTic. 15 to 11. The op going to be passed over to Yugi. AK-47's on board as well to surround that. Virtus.pro. They've won 3 straight. They only need 4 more to get into overtime. It's 21 kills for Pasha. Quiet 21 kills.
He has been playing well for a long time, so it's nice to see him step it up here, even as the team as a whole is looking a bit wobbly. More grenades landing on Yugi. He decided it's time.
Yeah, you saw that third one. He saw the Molotov, and he's like, all right, this is no fun. He even gets caught on the wall as well.
He was he wasn't sure if they really meant it for the first 2, and the third one comes like, all right.
It's like, no, they actually don't want me here. Snatchy peering towards top mid, but as that smoke starts to fade, he's going to get out. Neo sticks around. Look at how much this kind of the pressure has slowed down OpTic. 1 minute, and now they're just starting to move across the map, but so is Pasha. He's getting so much information. The tough part now for VP is this whole entire defense relies on Neo staying alive. He is the only defender at the A bomb site, and there goes Mihu. Turns the corner. It's Swift.
Yeah, they need to get Pasha in here really quickly. Snatchy with 1 good kill. Bialy on the follow-up. Great job taking down Cajun. Snatchy again, dropping Snappy. This is a beautiful defense. Snatchy keeps it up. They don't even need Pasha to get here. What a hold in that B bomb site after losing the first part of the defense. They just get shut down, and as you said, OpTic may be a bit slow. That's going to be just a huge win here for the Polish side. 15 to 12 now.
That 1 kill Bialy gets. It's only 1, and indeed Snatchy has 3 in this round, and he did a great job holding catwalk. But Bialy kills the 1 rifler coming out of those B tunnels. The 1 rifler coming out of those B tunnels, and it was critical because Yugi has the op, and he cannot be the aggressor from that B platform, that balcony. It's so difficult. So Yugi's just kind of stuck. Great opping from Snatchy, showing off a little bit of why they picked him up to be their opper of the future, right through the edge of the wall. And here the finish off over the smoke. 15 to 12 now, and OpTic is the funds are depleted.
Yeah, they're swiftly running out of money, and they must be feeling very frustrated as well by now. I think OpTic must have had the feeling that they were winning this game pretty heavily, pretty much all throughout the whole thing. So when you're starting to slow down towards the end, then Virtus.pro may be looking a bit more alive now. I don't know what that does to the team, but it can't be good. That was a quick round for a good reason as well. 13 to 15 now. It's going to be another buy round for OpTic, but Virtus.pro have almost made this comeback work, almost playing into overtime here. What is the... I mean, OpTic haven't really even gone for many A executions, it's just the default.
This is so mental that they've made this comeback happen. Yeah, they really haven't. I mean, the kind of a lot of the success they'd have, and I guess you can kind of understand why.
If we had a, we could have a category, Moses, like an award category for like strangest game of the major. This might be it. Maybe the one between Vega and Spirit on this map was also up there.
They're both a little bit weird for different reasons, though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it feels like OpTic maybe lost a little bit of that swagger and config. Like, remember, they had a lot of rounds where like he was just running up connector, running out mid, running out those B halls, and just taking fights and getting kills. I think maybe the pressure of the situation as well kind of sets them back. Because you have to remember, all the focus on Virtus.pro and the changes they might make. This is an OpTic team that has been underwhelming in its formation.
Yeah.
And they've talked about having a lot of issues in terms of, you know, players doing some wrong things, not having proper communication and everything, even having been together for some time now. This is another team that really does need an injection of some positive vibes, some positive feeling, and Snatchy barely going to be able to get away.
That was getting very close. Molotov in front. Do a bit. Grenade. A couple of seconds late, they just crossed over to the side, so that's a bit of a shame. They're setting up for the similar kind of flashbang they did last time, and it got them to kill, so Snappy gonna come running through, but this time they're ready for it. A trade for Config, but still. Oh, and a follow-up as well. Config hitting those headshots all day long in connector, and Snatchy, he wants to challenge it, but he's exposed from ramp, from a palace. It's just not a good time.
He's got to do something. He's the only one here. Mihu's trying to get over, but he's got to be so cautious. Snatchy has to take a risk, and this is it. Back turn to Palace, back turn to A-Ramp. He's hoping Config peaks. It's not going to happen. He's just poised in there, moving up the ramp, and there's the pick. Yugi patient. Now a 2-on-1 mid and Config, the dagger. He's going to end it. He's got the information of where Bialy is as well. Maybe he doesn't, but he does do a decent amount of damage, and a 1-on-3 for Bialy.
Yeah, the bomb is going to go down immediately, and you know where he's coming from. Gade will take him down 16-13 in favor of OpTic Gaming, taking down Virtus.pro. We're now 0-2 in the group. So again, just an odd match, and felt to me like maybe it lasted longer than it should have.
It did, and it looks a little bit closer. It felt like Virtus.pro was kind of dead man walking for a while, and then all of a sudden you look up and they're actually within some striking distance, and OpTic is the one making some mistakes and looking lethargic.
Yeah.
Either way, Config, he had a great game. 22 and 21. He was instrumental, I think, on that T side to help them close that out. All well and good, and OpTic obviously needed that one very, very much.
Yeah, they did. I actually, maybe this is unfair, but I actually feel like it's maybe not a good sign for OpTic Gaming to be. I mean, it's good that they win the game, but I feel like a team with this kind of firepower on it, and the way that VP were playing, I would actually want OpTic to like win even more.
They win, and they needed it, and it's good that they win, but it doesn't make you feel any better about them, does it?
No, not really. So just overall a strange match. I don't really know what to make of it.
I don't either.
I look forward to the analysis part of this game. That's going to be great. That's going to be.
I'm sure they're sitting there saying the same thing, like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I hope they have some real interesting tidbits for us, because that was just all around weird.
Yeah. It's a far cry from the Virtus.pro, we know. I guess, they're going to be 0-2. Do you think they're going to go 0-3?
From the looks of it, yeah, I'd say right now.
Is there a team that you think they could beat?
No. I actually, the way that they're looking right now, I'm not very hopeful at all.
Yeah, that's the sad part, isn't it? Either way, something not so sad. We've got Freya down ready for an interview.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with Snappy and Yugi from the winning side, OpTic. So, Yugi, how did you refocus after that loss against Liquid yesterday?
We set up late night and watched the match and talked through what we did wrong, and we talked about make some new stuff, and yeah.
So, Snappy, has this win given you a bit more confidence now as a team?
Yeah, win is always a confidence booster. I mean, our confidence was really low prior to this. We know that we have not been performing at all, so our confidence is obviously really low, and you can feel that on all the players. But a win is really something that gives us confidence for the next match, and I do think that we have some pretty good teams in the 1-1 draw that we can meet.
Yeah, because Config was looking really confident early on, but the pressure seemed to kind of get to him. Did you feel that pressure as a team?
No, not. Yeah, I guess we had a 4-2 on B that we should definitely have won. So I guess that sort of round you usually win in practice. So I guess that pressure got to us there. I think with confidence we win those like 9 out of 10 times at least.
So as in-game leader, did you switch up your leading style compared to the match yesterday against Liquid?
Yeah, we actually did a lot, because yesterday we relied too much on set goes, and we allowed Liquid to play too much AWP on B and then stack A, which we ran into. And even when we hit B and they played there alone, we still lost. So we didn't punish their mistakes when we actually got them where we wanted it. So today we changed our approach to play a little bit more loose and put pressure on B, so they couldn't just stack on A.
So Yugi, do you think that looser, freer style of play kind of helped you perform as an AWPer?
Yeah, I think it helped me. I was picking A-ups, B-ups all around the map as CT, so I didn't do it yesterday as that much, so yeah.
So you guys are now 1-1. How are you feeling going into tomorrow's game?
I guess like we're still hit on the confidence, but like this helps a lot. So I think going 1-1, we still have a good shot. Hopefully we get a good draw, and if that happens, then we feel even more confident.
And Yugi, is there any final words you'd like to say to the fans at home?
Just green wall. Just believe in us. I know we can do it great here, and we'll do it great. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys, and congratulations again on the win. We're going to head back over to Alex on the analyst desk.
Yugi and Snappy off their victory, and they don't seem too happy, more so relieved after that one. That looked like quite the brawl, and right down to a near close to 30-round game. OpTic coming in as favorites, and it didn't look like it in the server as VP put up a strong resistance into that second half.
They definitely bounced back and put some rounds on the board. It's more like a consolation at that point. I did feel like OpTic were in control of this game once I saw the 11-4 first half. I figured this one would be done and dusted. But they never gave up, and they put some, I guess, some much-needed frags down range, which I guess going into tomorrow, maybe they'll be feeling a little bit more warmed up because they could get the loser of the Space Soldiers versus Complexity game, which is definitely winnable. They could beat Renegades. They could also, well, North is 0-2. I don't know about that one.
I do like the insight Snappy gave us, though, Daps, in that interview when he's just talking about the adaptations they had to make from their Mirage game yesterday versus Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think they definitely changed some things, but I still wouldn't be too happy with this performance. I mean, it should have ended a little earlier than it did. I don't think OpTic played that bad, though. Just they took mid control a lot. They defaulted. They had the fundamentals down. Just they had a catch split where they didn't trade at all. They had that one round. I forgot. I'm trying to like reach.
But which round was it you were referring to? What happened?
I think OpTic did a good job of getting connector control and getting mid control. Just things sort of fell apart late round. Oh yeah, the 4 versus 2 is what I was talking about.
On the B side, right?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to reach.
It was somewhere in there.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of Counter-Strike. This is the analyst life chat.
That should have been probably when it was done and dusted. They should have won that round. But Snatchy hit some nice AWP shots. But while I'm talking about Snatchy, his stat line in terms of opening kills, he only found 2 opening frags in the entire game, but died 9 times first. So that is one to point out in the sense of an AWPer going head-to-head duels. If you go back and you scroll through HLTV.org's the kill feed, the scorebot, he went down to, I think it was Yugi 3 times in potential head-to-head AWP duels. I need to look at it a little bit deeper. But the sense is, if you're a player and you're basing your T side off of an AWPer finding a pick, it's not really a strategy. That's let's hope he wins a 50-50 setup.
Yeah, 21 multi-kill rounds for OpTic as well, especially that was pretty much their CT side, just mowing down VP to get, of course, such a extreme scoreline coming into the half. We'll take a look at that head-to-head, check back in with it. Of course, Mihu was selected from Virtus.pro due to his performance from yesterday, and unfortunately for him, things didn't shape up in this game.
Yeah, and Config really pushed them over the line at the very end. I think he hit a 3K in that last round, and just overall, Config just completely made their T side relevant. And I think that's exactly what we talked about before this match, is we needed to see Config have a big game, and he stepped up and did it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, you know, when we talk about Config, it would be silly not to mention top of the table by ADR by quite a considerable margin, actually. The rest of OpTic kind of lagging behind, and I'm sure they'll be pulling their socks up coming into tomorrow, where I'm still not convinced. They didn't seem convinced, and neither am I. I want to see more from OpTic, and I think this seems to be a universal message from commentators, the players themselves, and ourselves here at the desk.
It's just because there's so much firepower within this roster, right? If you just say Yugi and Config alone, those two guys are beasts. Yugi on the AWP, hugely flashy, can open up rounds single-handedly, and then you have Config, the same deal with the rifles, right? He can get a lot done. He's an impact player. So these two guys alone with a strong backbone, Cajun and Snappy, two very tenured players, you expect a lot. The fact that they're not delivering, surely they must be like giving this their all. It's a major.
You expect a lot from them, and we've seen a lot of Counter-Strike. In fact, we'll bring up the brackets so you can see just how much we have enjoyed here today. And just one more remains. One more game of Counter-Strike as we see Space Soldiers taking on Complexity, as we see who will be slipping to that 0-2 sudden death spot as they continue their major adventure. Space Soldiers are limping, unfortunately hamstrung by Engine, unable to pick himself up a visa. We do have the coach standing in hardstyle. Yes, we'll talk more about it. Chad's groans are not misplaced. And before we do go, a quick reminder, Epic's GG, one of our sponsors here at the Major. You can go ahead and collect your favorite CSGO pros. You can trade them, share them, and all of that good stuff. That's epics.gg. They've all got ratings and rankings, so you can go ahead and see what your favorite player's been up to over at epics.gg. Even get it on your phone if you fancy. Still, let's get out of here. We're going to take a break, and Space Soldiers are going to be giving it their best shot as they take on none other than Complexity after this. And rankings, you can go ahead and see what your favorite player's been up to over at epics.gg.